So what's this? A microwave. What are these? Grease filters. These go underneath so they keep your grease from getting up into your microwave. Clean out all the grease. It helps. Also, what is this filter up here? It's this magic filter. This is your charcoal filter. This is for filtering out odors coming back into your home when your microwave recycles back into the room. You should change this out about every 6 months to a year. If not, you're gonna have that fish smell come right back into your room. Scratches. Scratch and dent refrigerator we have here on the floor. People say all the time, how do I remove these scratches? Easy answer is, you don't. They have kits out that people make that say, yes, you can take sandpaper and re-scratch this to make it blend in. Yeah, you can, but you're gonna have to redo the whole door to make it look great. So when you have scratches like this, unfortunately, you just have to live with them or buy a new door, and that's usually not an option. So just be careful with stainless steel because it does scratch. Another common question, I replaced my filters, my air filter and my water filter, and it didn't go out. Well, that's because they do not go out. You have to reset them because they are based on time, not on you replacing it. So once you reset it, it goes off in a certain amount of time. It starts telling you you need to replace it. So with each one, you have to reset the filters. So we've got several different refrigerators and there's different ways to do it. So here we go. On this refrigerator, we have a air reset and a water filter reset. You just press and hold that button. You light it up, press and hold it, and it says press and hold, and you keep holding it, and then it's reset because it's not off right now. So that's how you do it on this one, and on this one. Almost every refrigerator out there is different. Usually it is labeled how to reset it on the button itself. So just follow those instructions, reset your filters, and you'll be just fine until the next time you need to replace it, and it will remind you it's time to replace your filter. Common question, well, I don't use my filter that much. I replace it, I went on vacation for 3 months, came back, and it says I have to replace it. Well, it doesn't matter. Filters, once that water hits it, that charcoal is active. That filter filters out both your water in your door and also your water for your ice maker. After 6 months, that charcoal is inactive and it no longer filters your water. So that's why you have to replace it. That's why the lights are on a timer. So if you are tasting that weird taste in your ice, it's one of two things. Either your filter needs to be replaced because it's done, or it could be from you not covering your food in your refrigerator. Those odors and stuff carrying through the freezer and contaminating the ice in the freezer. Because if you put that piece of garlic pizza and you threw it in your refrigerator and you didn't cover it up, well, that garlic smell is gonna go from the refrigerator side to the freezer side and it's gonna absorb into the ice. So make sure you cover your foods and change that filter. All right, changing lights on refrigerators. If you have a light bulb in it, an actual light bulb, always unplug the refrigerator before you change the light bulb and remove the covers, follow the instructions. On the newer ones, well, all the newer refrigerators, they've all went to LED light bulbs. You don't replace them. You call a technician and have them replace it if you need to, because these are ran on low voltage. They usually are built into the unit and you'll need to disassemble it and actually replace the whole light pack. This whole piece up here have to replace. Sometimes you'll have to replace the board because the board is actually what powers these up. Replacing light bulbs in refrigerators anymore, kind of a thing of the past. But if you have an older one, always make sure you unplug the refrigerator before you change it. That way, when you're screwing that light bulb in, you screw it in, you see it flicker, 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 well, that's causing a short circuit within the unit and can cause damage to the unit if it's connected to a control board. So always make sure you unplug it before you change that light bulb. Quick tip with refrigerators, with the LED light bulbs, if they stop working, the best thing to do is to unplug the refrigerator or turn the breaker off for about 30 seconds, turn it back on and see if it comes back on. Because sometimes the boards go haywire, kind of like your iPhone, they go nuts, they're not sure what to do. Unplug your refrigerator, plug it back in, open your doors, see if your lights work. If they work, you're in good shape. If not, call a technician. We'll have to come out and see what's going on. Appliance noises. Now, all appliances have noises, but most of the time people hear complaints from their refrigerators because they make a bunch of weird noises. So with all these weird noises, always consult your owner's manual. Usually in the use and care manual, they will tell you common noises that these make and what noises they actually are. We have a bunch of noises from feed noises, from ice maker noises, from fan noises, to all these other weird noises that you're not accustomed to. But you have to remember, noises are environmental. You can have this refrigerator here on our showroom floor and it's gonna sound one way. You're gonna put it in your home based on the flooring surfaces, the type of cabinetry, how echoey the room is. It's gonna sound different in your home than it will here. Always keep that in mind. You're gonna say, well gosh, this sounds great on your floor, but I take it home and mine's really noisy. Done that route before. We've exchanged the refrigerator from the floor the customer signed and says, this refrigerator is quiet, mine's noisy, and they put their signature on it, they took it to their home, and it sounded exactly the same way. So always consult your owner's manual about noises, because noises are all different for all manufacturers and environmental places that they're put into. Ice production. How much ice is your refrigerator going to make? Well, that's a tough question because it's all going to depend. Right now, it's really warm outside where we live, 100+ degrees every day. Our groundwater is warming up to about 80 degrees. Saying, well, what does that have to do with making with ice? Well, let's think about this. If we're putting 80-degree water into that ice maker, it's going to make ice much slower than it would be if you're putting 50-degree or less into that ice maker. So how much is my ice maker supposed to produce? The answer is, it depends. For this Frigidaire right here, they say that this ice maker makes 2 pounds of ice every 24 hours. But then you consider when you take this bin out and you look at this bin holds 6 pounds of ice. That's 3 days to fill this up. Not much ice. Some manufacturers have ran the water through a water chiller before it goes up to the ice maker to help do it. Some ice makers have the refrigeration tubing is underneath the ice maker so it freezes it faster. Some do a lot of other things to help it along. Typically, an ice maker will cycle anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half to dump ice, typically. In a 24-hour period, you can figure that out. How fast it makes it all depends on factors such as how cold the water is, how cold the freezer is, the capacity of the ice cube tray it's filling and dumping in there. If you have 5 kids running this refrigerator and getting ice out of all the time, is it going to keep up with it? Absolutely not. Keep that in mind. Generally, when you're freezing food in a refrigerator, it's because you're blocking the vents coming into the refrigerator. Even on this refrigerator, it's got a nice sticker in the back of it that says, if you put your food right by that vent back there, it's going to freeze your food. Absolutely it will, because it's freezer cold air. So anywhere there's an air inlet into the refrigerator compartment, if you're putting food in that area, or you're really OCD and you put all your food in nice little squares and they're nice little containers and they're all perfectly matched in this one. Open this up, it's like this beautiful arrangement of food. But the problem is you're blocking your airflow. When you're blocking airflow, you're forcing the air to go one direction. Since it is freezer cold air, it's going to hit that food and go one direction back into the freezer. So everything that's close to it is going to freeze. Always make sure you keep food a couple inches away from those air inlets. If you've checked all that and you've done all that, call a technician, because generally you're either going to have problems such as possibly a bad thermistor in there, possibly a bad control board, something of that has gone wrong with it. So call a technician, we'll come out and figure out why it's freezing all your food inside your refrigerator if you've already taken care of the airflow issue. Another common question, refrigerants. Do I need more refrigerant in my refrigerator? Does it go bad? Do I have to worry about it? Well, refrigerators, this is a sealed system, meaning the refrigerant goes in, it is sealed off. It is not like your car where you've got different connections you screw on to make them nice and tight, no rings to seal it off. This is a sealed system, it's brazed shut. So with refrigerators, you don't need to replace your refrigerant, and no, it doesn't go old. If you have low refrigerant in your refrigerator, there's a reason for that. And it's usually not a good reason. I wish I could tell you otherwise, but it's not. At that point, if you have a loss of refrigerant, a technician will need to come out, we'll need to find where that leak is, and we'll need to fix it. We can't just go out and just charge it up and hope for the best. Sometimes we have to charge them up and put in what's called a dye pack, so that will identify where the leak is coming from, so we can go out and shine black lights to find that leak. But if you have a leak in a refrigerator, it's not because it's just low on refrigerant. It's because you have a problem and we have to fix it. Another common question, my refrigerator is... Who's beeping at me? Does it go bad? Does it go out? Well, the answer to that is, I don't know. I can do that again.